If the nurse hadn't brought us the wrong baby, do you think you would have benefited so much as the daughter of a wealthy family? Your last name is Huo. This is the Lu family, so get out of here quickly and go back to the mud you came from. Yao let out a sigh. She had expected to be thrown out sooner or later. After dragging things out for so long, it's time to leave, Yao thought, pulling her small suitcase out of the house. Outside, a car was waiting for her. Whoa, you really got kicked out, Yumin exclaimed. I helped you when you were in trouble and you know it, Yao began. Isn't it a bit too bold of you to mock me like this, Mr. My Neighbor? I'm not mocking you at all, Yumin replied with a smile. I came to pick you up as soon as I heard the news. Do you know how hard it is to get into this rich neighborhood? I'm just a construction worker, so where are you going? I'll drop you off. To the airport, Yao answered. Yumin asked her about her future plans. Yao replied that she was going back to her biological family. Yao had learned that her biological family was not doing well financially, so she decided to move in with them and lend a hand, as long as they didn't treat her as cruelly as the Lu family she had just left. But her friend Yumin didn't know that. When they arrived at the airport, Yao tossed a box of medicine to Yumin. This is for you. We won't see each other again after this. Yumin caught the box and muttered, You're throwing me away like an old sock now that I'm no longer useful to you? How ungrateful. We won't see each other again, huh? Don't be so sure. Yao took her flight to the city of her biological parents. It's been a year since I transmigrated into this body, she thought. I have thus become the poor little Yao Lu, unloved by her parents. Grandma was the only person who truly loved me in that family. However, even that love came from an accidental baby swap. Lost in her thoughts, Yao wondered about her grandmother's heart condition. She had wanted to cure her before being thrown out of the family, but there was nothing she could do now. Upon arriving at Bond Port, she received a call from an unknown number. Yao, have you arrived? I'll see you at the meeting point, said the stranger. Yao asked who it was. He replied that he was her older brother Yanxi. According to what she knew, her biological family consisted of 4 brothers and her 2 parents. Yao told him she would arrive at the meeting point soon. On the way, she passed a group of fans shouting the name of someone called Xia. Yao wondered if a celebrity was nearby. When she reached the meeting point, she noticed her eldest brother, dressed nothing like the son of a poor family. Is this really Yanxi Huo, my older brother? She wondered. He doesn't look at all like the person described by rumors. Yanxi observed his sister and looked again at the photo on his phone. Yao, is that really you? He asked. Yao confirmed her identity, and Yanxi was surprised. Well, he said, you don't look at all like the one in the photo. This picture really doesn't do her justice, he thought. Oh, I'm just not photogenic, Yao said. A woman rushed toward Yanxi, calling his name. It was the current daughter of the Lu family. I'm sorry I'm late, she said with a smile. I was held up by my fans at the entrance. It's all right, Yanxi replied affectionately. The newcomer finally turned toward Yao and looked at her curiously. Yanxi made the introductions. By the way, this is my younger sister, Yao. He wanted to introduce Xia, but Yao had already understood the situation. Miss Pink Pink was the supposed Xia that the fans had come to see. Yao put on her mask and stepped forward. I understand. Let's go. This isn't the best place to talk. There are too many people. Her older brother took her suitcase and explained that Xia had joined a girl group for a talent show some time ago, and it had become quite popular. Xia looked at the newcomer with a worried gaze full of hatred. She had thought Yao would be a country bumpkin, but now she realized she wouldn't be easy to push out. Meanwhile, at the Huo family home, Yao's biological parents were eagerly waiting for her. Remember to tell the finance team not to come to the house this month, the mother reminded the father. We just found our daughter. I absolutely don't want to scare her, she insisted. I understand, her husband replied, also impatient for their daughter's arrival. Why aren't they here yet? The mother wondered, when suddenly the sound of a car parking was heard. They're here! Both parents rushed outside. Xia stepped forward with a smile toward her adoptive parents. Mom, Dad, we brought Yao back. Xia threw herself into her adoptive mother's arms, thinking, it doesn't matter if Yao is back. After all, I'm the one who has lived with this family for 17 years. Thank you for bringing Yao back, the mother replied, pushing her embrace away. It's getting late. I'll ask Yanxi to take you home. Otherwise, your real parents will be angry again when they learn you came to our house. The mother walked away from Xia, who was completely bewildered by the coldness. Yao, come inside, her mother said. The food is already ready. Yao was very surprised by her mother's attitude. She hadn't expected her to pay so much attention to her. Yao's mother tried her best to converse with her daughter under Xia's hateful and jealous gaze as she was pushed aside. This is very surprising, Yao thought while looking at Xia. She could clearly see what kind of person she was dealing with. Entering the Huo family home, Yao was shocked by the decor and the luxury. Isn't that a painting worth an astronomical amount? She thought. Her father joined her while she was wondering whether it was a real work or an imitation. Even though the family isn't completely ruined, it's impossible that they could afford the work of such a famous artist, Yao thought. Seeing her interest in the painting, her father asked if she also liked calligraphy. But before he could present the piece, his wife nudged him to stop him. "Stop showing your mediocre work," she said. She then took her daughter to visit her new bedroom. Left alone, Yao's father wondered why his wife had never shown any interest in antiques. In front of her new bedroom, her mother said, "This room used to belong to Xiang, one of your brothers, but he likes to wander around, so he's rarely at home. So I decided to redecorate it for you. Take a look and tell me if you like it." Inside the room, Yao was dazzled by all the pink. She had absolutely no idea what to say. It wasn't her style at all, but her mother was proud of her work. "This is a design I personally asked a famous interior designer for. What do you think? Isn't it very feminine and wonderful? On top of that, I bought you new clothes. See if you like them. Otherwise, we can go buy another collection." Another collection? Yao thought in surprise. "Mom, does our family own a gold mine?" she asked, intrigued. Her mother suddenly moved closer and held her tightly. "Oh, my dear daughter, you finally called me Mom," she said with tears in her eyes. Her mother shed tears of joy, while Yao found the situation a bit embarrassing. After dinner, her two parents carefully examined her admission letter. "This should relieve you of a burden," Yao said. "I will be transferred to First Central High School, so the other high schools you chose are absolutely unnecessary." Yao noticed that her parents had taken great interest in selecting her transfer high school and were truly concerned about her development. Her father handed her back the admission letter, and Yao apologized and wished her parents good night. "All right, good night. Sleep well," her mother replied joyfully. Left alone, the two parents looked at each other anxiously. Her mother wondered how it was possible that she had a transfer admission letter from such a prestigious high school. "Look at the seal on it. Could it be fake?" she asked her husband. "It's unlikely to be fake," her husband replied. "But considering the standards of that school, is it possible that she got in with her grades?" her mother insisted. "Xia warned us that she only got into her previous high school by paying. But this is still the best high school in the whole city." "Don't stress about it," her husband replied. "Have faith in our daughter. This girl is capable of much more than we think," her father thought. Looking at the gift Yao had given his wife, he asked, "You were sniffing the scented pills Yao gave you earlier. Are they really effective against your migraine?" His wife replied that they worked perfectly. She added that it had been a long time since she had felt so well and relaxed. "If you don't believe me, just try the great tonic pills Yao gave you." Her husband understood the implication behind his wife's words. Meanwhile, in her room, Yao was sitting in front of her computer. She opened Cloud Realm, a site where you can buy anything you want. "This crappy website," she thought. "There are so many absurd things to do every time just to log in." Yao was interrupted by a message from Super Cool Autumn. The other person was overjoyed to see her online. He asked why she had disappeared and what she had done during all that time. His messages came in rapid succession without giving Yao even time to respond. Yao ignored all his messages and directly asked him if he had ever experienced transmigration. He was shocked by her question and asked if her account had been hacked because he couldn't believe she was asking such an absurd question. The next morning, Yao went out for her morning run. On the way, she reflected on her conversation the previous night with the holder of the Super Cool Autumn account. "As I thought, even if I tell the truth about my transmigration, no one would believe me," she thought. Back home, she surprised her parents trying to lift a large box. "Oh, you're back from your jog. Rest," her mother said. "By the way, this package was delivered for you. I don't really know what it is, but it's particularly heavy." Her father was already sighing in pain from his hips. "They're just a few odds and ends," Yao replied vaguely. "Now that I have all this, I can finally make my own medicine," Yao thought. She carried the package effortlessly and said she was going to wash up, under her parents' shocked gazes. "Honey, it seems like you really need the bottle of supplements Yao gave you," the wife said to her husband. "I have no problem, her husband declared. That box was really heavy, 40 kilos. After her shower, Yao was surprised to see her older brother Yang Si in the dining room. She wondered what he was doing at home. Since the day he brought her from the airport, he hadn't returned home once. Yao didn't know whether he was just busy or if he had trouble accepting her as his sister. Yao, Mom told me you were transferred to First Central High School, he asked. Yes, I start classes tomorrow, Yao replied. In that case, I'll take you there tomorrow, her older brother declared. Sha also studies there. I promised to take her too since it's the official first day tomorrow. You're not familiar with the school, so Sha could... Before he could finish, Yao cut him off. No thanks, I can go by myself, Yao declared, getting up from the table. Mom, Dad, I'm full. I'm going up to my room. Her older brother, looking worried, wondered if Yao was having a fit because she heard he would also take Sha. He then asked his parents, has she been like this since she arrived? You shouldn't spoil her so much. Her mother angrily replied, Yao has a very good character. Stop having so many prejudices against her. Fine, I surrender. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have even come tonight. I'm leaving right now, he said. No sooner said than done. He left the house, hesitated for a moment, then decided to call his favorite number. Hello, Sha. Yao's grades aren't good enough to have deserved the transfer acceptance to First Central High School. I have no idea how she managed to get that admission letter, but she's determined to start classes anyway. So, Sha, I can only ask you to take care of her from now on. Sha, on the other end, replied that he shouldn't worry because she would do what was necessary to take care of Yao. And as long as her admission letter was obtained legally, it wasn't important to know who helped her, she added happily, having the opportunity to further damage Yao's reputation in front of her brother. Don't forget you promised to pick me up and take me to school tomorrow. I won't forget, Yang Si declared. Ugh, this Yang Si is already annoying me so much, and he even dares to search online how to get along with a rebellious little sister. How the is she rebellious? You're not even capable of seeing the real face of that horrible Xia who serves as your substitute sister. Xia hung up and immediately told her real mother the news. I just learned from Yang Si that Yao will start studying at First Central. Didn't you tell me yourself that her grades were very bad? Is it possible that you and father helped her get into that high school? Are you serious? Her mother asked, very angrily. On her side, Yao had just finished making one of her miraculous remedies. These pills are enough for Mom to completely cure her migraines, she declared. I can now show up at school without worrying. Ready to go to school? She met her parents in the living room. Her father handed her a card as a congratulatory gift for starting classes at her new school. The password is your birthday, and it's an unlimited card, he said. Feel free to use it as you wish. Her father added, we are not rich, but you don't have to worry. I don't intend to let you suffer. Yao, shocked, thought, you have a black card in your hand, and you tell me to use it as I wish. What kind of poor family are we? A few moments later, Yao arrived at the school gates, but was stopped by the guard. Miss, you must swipe your student card before entering the school. Without it, you are not authorized to enter the premises. Yao replied that she was a new transfer student, so she didn't have her student card yet. She presented her admission letter. The guard examined the document and asked her to wait. He had to check directly with the Academic Affairs office. 20 minutes later, the guard returned and announced that no one had answered at the Academic Affairs office, even though he had tried to reach them several times. Yao asked if she had to wait until they answered. Is it possible to contact the principal directly? She asked. The guard apologized, saying he was new and didn't really know what to do in this situation. He asked her to wait a bit longer. Yao was completely shocked by all this protocol when he had clearly seen her admission letter. A car parked nearby, and the person inside observed the scene unfolding before him with interest. It was Yumin, Yao's friend whom she thought she would never see again. At the same moment, Yan Shi, Yao's older brother, had just arrived at the school with Xia. Xia noticed Yao approaching an unfamiliar car. Yan Shi asked what was going on. Xia replied that she might be mistaken, but how was it possible that Yao was getting into a stranger's car to enter the school? I'm going now, Yan Shi, she declared after revealing this information. Thank you for bringing me to school. Yan Shi said goodbye to Xia while wondering why his sister Yao had gotten into a stranger's car.